One of the many questions that we have gotten here at Backun Musical is what kind of reed and how to prepare a reed. I actually use Van Doren's V12s mostly. I have been using them for a long time, mainly because the consistency of sound and the consistency of the quality of the cane has been very good, and I've always loved that part of the process. Now, one of the things that we have to remember is that the piece of cane is really a living matter, and when we get a piece of wood like this and we start playing it on it, it starts decaying because of the acidity of the saliva. So you have to try to make sure that we get it to be balanced as quickly as possible in the process. Sometimes people talk about just breaking in the reed, sort of muscling it and just letting it do its own thing for a while. But I actually think that's a mistake, because once we actually start playing the reed, the clock is ticking. So you want to get as much life out of the reed as possible. So one of the things that I immediately do when I get a brand new reed is that I try to balance the tip. I actually try to use it by sanding the front of the reed all the way to around the heart area, so that then to make sure that the whole tip is well balanced, and that way I am able to determine better how it's going to respond, and then from there I can actually check out the sides. Okay. Then when one does that, then most people do the test from side to side of the reed. Everybody goes something like this, and to compare sides, and they tend to do the adjustment based on that. But it is important to be really specific, because as the way that one fixes it will only be as accurate as the testing. So one of the things that I like to do is based on actually the ATG system by Tom Bridenauer, which is very simple, but it works extremely well. And the test, the most important thing about the test is the manner in which we do it. For example, the side to side of the testing the reed, when we are checking one side, muffling the other one by basically moving the reed a little bit toward the side, is that we have to check out the initial response and how it tapers down, so that then instead of just blowing just a random open G like that, is not very useful. What is important is to see how it responds to the initial attack and how the decay goes. So as he recommends, I've been using that method quite successfully, and it is that we have to do a forte piano and then diminuendo from a forte piano, so it goes down to nothing. So it would be more like this. And then the other side. And then just seeing how the initial decay goes. Now in this one, since I already worked it, the decay goes pretty similarly. And then the last test, as the method recommends, is just to check the response through the register. So I play going through the harmonic series, the Do, Sol, Mi, La, fortissimo, and then pianissimo immediately after to check the response. And if it responds easily, like this one did, then the reed is balanced, and therefore it would respond well. So, of course, there's all kinds of little tricks that we always adopt, and there's also the manner in which we do it, and depending on the summer, where the reeds swell up a little bit, or the winter, where they are a little bit brittle, so we have to make little adjustments to that process. But the main idea is trying to find the best way to balance each side and the tip, so that then everything works together. We always get into the place where we are trying to find something that sounds good or feels good versus something that actually functions properly. And the important thing is that we have to get the reed to do what we need. We need it to play softly and loudly. And be able to play in the louder part with keeping the integrity of the sound, and for it to respond in soft and loud articulation. So that's why these little boring exercises make it work very well, and then we can actually use a reed that is functional for playing music.